place. Look at the look on your face. Says it all. This world's appalling. We ache for outer space. 'Cause the world is a terrible place. And the world is a crappy old hole. From bottom to top and pole to pole. Now there's no good news. This world's useless. I'm out of here. It's my goal. 'Cause the world is a crappy old hole. And the world is a sandwich of shite. Every day you take another bite. You think you're Superman. Sure you can handle it till you come across kryptonite. Chunky style! The world is a sandwich of shite, alright. What a wonderful world this would be. Yeah, if wishes were horses, maybe. At the terminal crux, reality sucks. We all ache for fantasy. What a wonderful world this would be. 'Cause the world is a dirty old joke. And there's no way to fix it, it's broke. It's beyond repair. And I couldn't care less if and when it all goes up in smoke, and it will. 'Cause the world is a dirty old, crappy old, shitty old, terrible joke. Woo! Hello, boys and girls. Hello, and welcome to the third season of Uncle Larry's Clubhouse, The Best of Uncle Larry. I'm Joe Cable, your special guest host for the third season, and tonight we feature the Best of Uncle Larry's Movie Review Corner. You're really going to enjoy that. It's the best of his movie reviews, and I think the strength of Uncle Larry's movie reviews is that rather than just sitting around telling you, oh, it was a good picture, go see it, or it stunk, don't go see it, most of Uncle Larry's best movie reviews are really about the culture that produced the films, and either made them a success or made them a bomb or whatever. Also, the infamous Contact review will be shown. Those of you that are fans of Uncle Larry's massive rant about The Matrix, this is the one that started all. But first, I'd just like to mention, I was in Cottingtown the other day, and they're still handing out these little books. I got one of these years ago. It's nice to know they're keeping it going. It's one of those little religious pamphlets, the little cartoons in here, The best thing about this, though, I think, is the cover there, that whole creator or liar thing, and boys and girls that have been watching Uncle Larry's Clubhouse know that the answer to this question is, of course, both. Now, really quickly, since it's a movie review show, I want to mention I saw this movie the other night. I taped it off of Momax at like 5 in the morning simply because it was a foreign film. It was called O Testamento do Senhor Nepomuceno, and one of the best movies I've seen in a long time, boys and girls. It's Portuguese. It was shot in some place called the Capo Verde Islands, which are incredibly spectacular. My God, I'm going to go there someday. It's the only movie I've ever seen from the Capo Verde Islands, and Portuguese is a really interesting language. It sounds kind of like a cross between Italian, French, and Spanish. So it's a great flick. It's kind of sort of like 100 Years of Solitude. If you've ever read 100 Years of Solitude, in many ways, it's both a great movie and a terrible movie. For instance, the makeup is horrible. Oh my God, they put this horrible white stuff in people's hairs to make them look old, and it turns all blue under the lights. Oh my God. But it's got some of the best cinematography I have ever seen. No lie. The guy who did this guy's name is Edgar Moura. Never heard of him before, but there are scenes in this movie where his use of light is just absolutely breathtaking. So, O Testamento do Senhor Nepomuceno. I don't know if you can find it in a video store or not. Like I said, I got it off of Momax at 5 in the morning. You have to really watch because Cinemax will show great foreign flicks, but they stick them on like at 2 or 3 in the morning. You really have to be... I just tape every foreign movie that's on any pay channel. I figure if it's a foreign flick and they're actually showing it, it's got to have something to recommend it. I've seen some stinkers, but this was a real surprise. So be sure to check that out. Also, once again, just to remind you, if you'd like to contact me, Joe Cable. You can call me care of the Sonoma Video and Film Collective. There's a number right there. 526-0369. Leave a message. If you leave your name and number, I will call you back. Uncle Larry wasn't so great about that, but I intend to do a better job of it. Okay, so we're going to get into Uncle Larry's Movie Review Corner. I'm going to put a little tunes behind it just so there's a little something to listen to. I'm going to be using Jim Montalbano's album, In Passing. It's got some decent music on that. So that's the background music. And you'll be seeing me once again at the very end of the show. Remember, these movies, almost all of these movies that Uncle Larry's going to review are available on videotape. Although generally, let's be honest, the best reviews are ones where he's telling you how terrible the movie is. But you might want to rent it anyways just to see how bad it really is. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's pay a visit to Uncle Larry's Movie Review Corner. Just the other day, Uncle Larry went and saw two 2.5-hour movies for $2.50 each. That's 5 hours worth of movie for $1 an hour. Unfortunately, boys and girls, Uncle Larry still got rooked. The two movies in question were The Devil's Advocate and Boogie Nights, one of which was slaughtered by the critics and one of which was highly praised, but to tell you the truth, Uncle Larry doesn't think very highly of either of them. Let's start with The Devil's Advocate. Now, Uncle Larry had read a bunch of reviews which really slagged this movie, so he wasn't expecting much. Unfortunately for him, the first hour of the film was so good that it just totally set him up for the major disappointment that the next 90 minutes portended. In fact, the film kind of went like this: better, 1 hour, next 90 minutes, worse. Oh my God, this movie has the worst ending you ever want to imagine, boys and girls. It just gets more and more preposterous and illogical as it goes along. And Al Pacino's performance, which starts out being very sly and witty, just gets hammier and hammier until he's hitting the same note over and over again, like whacking nails into a board till you just can't take it anymore. Uncle Larry recommends that the boys and girls just go see Spawn, a movie which came out this summer and covered the same material and story in 90 minutes with a lot better and a lot more special effects. The special effects in this movie were pretty pointless. And it just wasn't very scary, boys and girls. There wasn't any kind of suspense. There wasn't any kind of buildup of tension. It just meandered along to its really horrible and frustrating conclusion. In fact, the scariest thing about The Devil's Advocate, to Uncle Larry at least, the thing that really terrified him was its underlying message that if you're a defense attorney and you think your client is guilty, then you should not represent him. That just scared the shit out of Uncle Larry, boys and girls, because what this flick is saying is, if it looks like you did it, God doesn't think you deserve a fair trial. And that's just horrible, boys and girls. Uncle Larry can't believe they actually tried to foist that over, but, a bunch of those right-wingers are just going to swallow it, hook, line, and sinker, because they think we're mollycoddling these criminals. But boys and girls, if Uncle Larry was accused of a crime he didn't commit, even if it looked like he was guilty, he would certainly hope to get a lawyer who would do his best to get him off. So it's a definite pass on Devil's Advocate, boys and girls. In fact, the real Satan is the people who made this movie. Lucifer was supposed to be God's right-hand man, and yet the best he can do when he manifests on earth is Al Pacino. Give me a break. The only good thing about it really was Keanu Reeves' performance. It was much better than Uncle Larry expected it to be. And for those of you that have unfortunately already seen Devil's Advocate, the part in the beginning when he gets the child molester off and then he gets all drunk in that bar with his wife and they're dancing? That is exactly the same way Uncle Larry dances when he gets shit-faced. So that was his favorite part of the movie. But all in all, it's a definite pass.